Hello students, how are you all? My name is Priya Nishant and I am your science educator from Countryside International School. So today we are going to be continuing with the last topic of this chapter, that is deficiency diseases and different types of deficiency diseases and its symptoms. Okay. So before starting this deficiency diseases, I have forgotten to discuss with you a topic called obesity. Have you heard the word obesity, students? So in the previous session I have discussed with you about balanced diet. If you don't eat a particular kind of nutrient for a prolonged period of time, you will have some kind of disease. That is deficiency disease that we are going to talk about. But what will happen if you eat, say, food rich in fats in a very large quantity every day? Fat is energy giving food, you already know. But as I have already said, that fat is not required in a very large quantity. A small amount of fat is required to give a lot of energy to our body. So if we eat a lot of fat rich food, what will happen is we will acquire a condition called as obesity. Obesity is a condition in which an individual intakes a large amount of fat as its food. Okay. So that is about it, about obesity. And next is about deficiency disease. What do you mean by deficiency disease? Let me just quickly tell you. Deficiency diseases is a disease that occurs because of lack of intake of a particular kind of nutrient over a long period of time. So this is a table. I hope you can see this. This is a table which has some deficiency diseases, that is vitamin lack of which causes the deficiency diseases and its symptoms. If you cannot see the this table, you can refer to table number 2.3 in your NCERT textbook of chapter number 2. That is the same table I have written here. I'll just quickly run through the table. It's very easy. You will read. एक बार read करोगे, you will understand. Okay. So vitamin A, deficiency of vitamin A leads to a disease known as loss of vision. Okay. Loss of vision के symptoms क्या हैं? What are the symptoms of loss of vision? That is poor sightedness or night blindness, or in some cases total loss of vision also happens. Okay. Deficiency of vitamin A leads to loss of vision and its symptoms are night blindness, poor vision at night, or at sometimes even full blindness also happens. Okay. Next is vitamin B1. Deficiency of vitamin B1 leads to a disease known as beriberi. What are its symptoms? Weak muscles and less energy to do all kind of work. The person who will have less amount of vitamin B1 in them will have a disease known as beriberi, and its symptoms is less energy and they will have weak bones. Vitamin C is, deficiency of vitamin C causes scurvy. Symptoms are bleeding gum and longer recovery time. Bleeding gum is the most prominent symptom of scurvy. That is because of the deficiency of vitamin C. Vitamin C, where does we get vitamin C from? That is from citrus fruits, from limbu, mosambi, santra and all. Okay, so when we don't take enough amount of vitamin C, we will have a condition known as beriberi, a disease known as beriberi. And bleeding gum will be the best or the most prominent symptom for scurvy. Next is vitamin D. Vitamin D कहाँ से मिलता है? From sun. Okay, it's good for our bones. Okay, so deficiency of vitamin D will leads to rickets. Disease known as rickets. And obviously the symptom will be bones will be weak if we don't have vitamin D in proper amount. Next is calcium. Calcium की कमी से our bones become weak and our teeth also become weak. That is the disease and that is also the symptom. Okay. Vitamin D, deficiency of vitamin D leads to rickets, and deficiency of calcium leads to weak bones and tooth decay. Easily tooth will be decayed. दांत खराब हो जाते हैं basically. ठीक है. Iodine. Have you heard the disease known as goiter? Goiter is prominently because of the less amount of iodine in our food. Iodine कहाँ से मिलता है? From salt. Okay, salt, iodine, namak in advertisement we hear na. So salt se we get iodine, and if we have less amount of iodine in our food na, there will be a growth in our neck. Ek swollen goiter is the disease. A swollen gland will be there in our neck. It is prominently found in women only, because women are more prone to lack of iodine. So they will have this lump, a ball type growth in their neck. That is the symptom. Okay, the disease is goiter and symptom is this ball like structure on the neck. Okay, next is iron. Iron की deficiency से क्या होता है? Condition known as anemia. Anemia says weaker bones and a lot of tiredness. We go pale. Our skin becomes pale. Doctor, checks our eyes with the torch when we go. He sees if it is properly red or not. Basically to check if there is a sufficient amount of iodine or not. Okay. So these are the this is the tabular form. If you can't see the tabular form in the video, you can always refer to the textbook table number 2.3. Table number 2.3 you can refer. Okay. So you will find the same table. You just read once you will understand. Okay. So one more topic is left. During the starting of the chapter, I told you that there are various tests, है ना, for proteins, for fats, and for starch. So we will quickly go through those topics, and that will be done. Then our chapter will be over. So let me just quickly make that table. Okay. Hello. So in this session we are going to be discussing about various tests for carbohydrate or starch, tests for proteins, and tests for fat. Okay. So for test for starch, what we have to do is, for all the tests we have to take the food item, we have to mash it properly, or we have to powder it or mash it properly. You can take either cooked food or you can take raw food, any food. Okay, and we have to take it in a test tube, a clean test tube we have to take. Okay, so we have to take the mashed food in a test tube, and then you have to add 2 or 3 drops of iodine solution to it. Okay, and what will happen is, if the food contains starch in it, if the food has starch in it, the test tube will have a blue color in it. Okay, blue black color may agar convert hota. For example, rice is white in color. You know that rice has got starch in it. So if you add iodine to it, iodine is mostly light brown color item. Okay, so if you add iodine to it, so if the food item consists of starch, then the test tube will be, the food in the test tube will be converted into a blue black color, which indicates the presence of starch. Okay, so I hope the test for starch is clear. Similarly, for test for protein also, you have to take the mashed food or powdered food in a clean test tube. Firstly, you have to add 10 drops of water to it, and you have to shake the test tube properly. Okay, and then you have to add 2 drops of copper sulfate solution and 10 drops of caustic soda solution. Okay, firstly 10 drops of water add karna hai, then 2 drops of caustic soda, copper sulfate solution, and 10 drops of caustic soda. Okay, when you do all these procedure, and if the food items converts into a violet color solution, if the food in the test tube is converted into a violet color, so we can say that the food contains protein. Okay. Similarly, test for fat is also very easy. For all this, you will need different kinds of chemicals. Testing fat is very easy. It's known as oil patch test. Okay, what you have to do is, we have to take the food item in a paper, any paper. Okay, and we have to wrap the food item in the paper, and we have to press it. Okay, we say press it for 10 seconds. And after pressing it, you have to unpack the paper, unfold the paper, take the food item away, and if you have to see in the light. So if there is an oil patch on the paper, you can say that there is fat, presence of oil or fat in the food. Many times it happens that there will be water content in the food as well. Okay, so if there is water, what you can do is, you can dry that paper for some time in the sunlight. So water will be evaporated, but oil doesn't evaporate. So you can find an oil patch on the paper. So with this experiment, we can say that there is oil or fat present in the food. Okay, I hope these 3 topics are clear to you. With this, we have come to the end of this chapter. I hope the whole chapter is clear to you. If you have any doubts, please let me know when we meet in the Zoom classes. Okay? Thank you.